It is the year 2022, the year of the Batman. Hey, welcome back to the Ping Pong Flix. My name is Chris Wong. This year is a special year for DC fans. Not only are we getting a bunch of DCEU movies, including The Batman, Black Adam, The Flash, Aquaman, Blue Beetle, and, so far maybe Batgirl, but we'll see. But there's definitely a lot of DC movie content coming out in 2022. But there's one particular niche in the DC community that's probably going to be very happy, and that's because there's going to be 3 different Batmen coming out this year. We're going to have Michael Keaton as Batman, Ben Affleck as Batman, and we're also going to get to see Robert Pattinson as Batman for the very first time. So hold on to your butts. It is the year of the Bat.
Now you want to get nuts? Come on, let's get nuts.
Let's talk about The Batman. Now, Matt Reeves is directing The Batman, starring Robert Pattinson in his first big IP role since Twilight. But he's done so many different movies since then, and he has shown that he's a capable actor. 2 years of stalking the streets as the Batman, played by Robert Pattinson, striking fear into the hearts of criminals, has led Bruce Wayne deep into the shadows of Gotham City. With only a few trusted allies, Alfred Pennyworth, played by Andy Serkis, Lieutenant James Gordon, played by Jeffrey Wright, amongst the city's corrupt network of officials and high-profile figures. The lone vigilante has established himself as the sole embodiment of vengeance amongst his fellow citizens. When a killer targets Gotham's elite with a series of sadistic machinations, a trail of cryptic clues sends the world's greatest detective on an investigation into the underworld, where he encounters such characters as Selina Kyle, also known as Catwoman, played by Zoe Kravitz, Oswald Cobblepot, also known as the Penguin, played by Colin Farrell, Carmen Falcone, played by John Turturro, and Edward Nashton, aka the Riddler, played by Paul Dano. As the evidence begins to lead closer to home and the scale of the perpetrator's plans becomes clear, Batman must forge in new relationships, unmask the culprit, and bring justice to the abuse of power and corruption that has long plagued Gotham City. Now, the trailers have shown this to be a very atmospheric, dark, probably the darkest Batman we've ever gotten. It promises to have a lot of action, but a lot of that noir detective flavor, suspense, thriller, even some horror elements to boot. And rumors are even saying that Barry Keoghan, who is listed on the cast sheet, will definitely be playing Joker in this movie. Let's see if that actually happens. Now, this movie is not part of the DCEU. We have established that many times, but producer Dylan Clark also reiterates that. Warner Brothers has a multiverse where they're exploring different ways to use the character. We don't get involved in that. Matt Reeves is interested in pushing this character to his emotional depths and shaking him to his core. And even though there were rumors that it could possibly follow Todd Phillips' Joker from 2019, the one with Joaquin Phoenix, that doesn't seem to be the case. Although DC Japan seems to be confused when they tweeted this out today. The impact of Joker was just a beginning. The world's lie is revealed by the crazy intelligence criminal Riddler. I think they're just kind of hopping off the Joker bandwagon there, so I don't really think that's going to happen. But that'd be pretty cool and kind of interesting if you ask me. Either way, this is DC's most anticipated movie outside of the DCEU, coming out March 4th.
I'm vengeance.
Alright, let's talk about The Flash. The next gigantic DC movie coming out in 2022 is Andy Muschietti's The Flash, starring Ezra Miller. Ezra Miller stars as Barry Allen, also known as The Flash, who pushes the limits of his superpowers in the DC superhero's first ever standalone feature film. The film also stars Ron Livingston as Henry Allen, Kiersey Clemons as Iris West, Sasha Calle as the DCEU's first Supergirl, Ben Affleck reprises his role as DCEU's Batman, and Michael Keaton also reprising his role as the Batman since Batman Returns. Now, this movie is said to be inspired by Flashpoint, in which Barry Allen goes back in time, tries to save his mom, and, something happens through the entire universes. It's also rumored he's going to traverse multiple different DCEU movies, including Man of Steel, because in the cast list, Michael Shannon and Andre Trauer reprising the roles as General Zod and Faora. Now, according to Andy Muschietti, Ben Affleck's role is a very substantial part of the emotional impact of the movie. The interaction and relationship between Barry and Affleck's Wayne will bring an emotional level that we haven't seen before. It's Barry's movie, it's Barry's story, but their characters are more related than we think. They both lost their mothers to murder, and that's one of the emotional vessels of the movie. That's where the Affleck Batman kicks in. Now, they've promised that he's going to have a more substantial role than just a cameo, as we do see his character in the streets of Gotham during the behind the scenes, which means that his character will have more to do than just maybe one talking scene. But not only is Ben Affleck returning as Batman, the original Batman from the Tim Burton movies is also returning as well. Michael Keaton returns as the Batman to help Barry Allen's Flash allegedly fix the timeline.
Are you in?
Now, there's a lot of speculation and discussion whether which Batman will come out as being the DCEU Batman. It's no secret that Ben Affleck publicly says that he doesn't want to do any more IP movies, even though he really enjoyed his time on the Flash set. He also returned as Batman for Zack Snyder's Justice League's additional photography, so there's still hope that he could still be the DCEU's Batman, regardless of whether Michael Keaton continues being Bruce Wayne for the rest of the DC movies. It has already been said that Michael Keaton's Bruce Wayne, aka Batman, will be a Nick Fury type role across many DC films. And one of those DC films is Batgirl. Now, Batgirl right now is to be announced in 2022, so I'm not really quite sure if it is coming out in 2022, but that's what's being dated right now. Instead of going to theaters, this one is going to HBO Max, the first ever live action feature film to star the popular DC superhero Batgirl, directed by Adil Arbi and Billal Fillah. Leslie Grace plays the titular role of Barbara Gordon, also known as Batgirl. J.K. Simmons returns to reprise his role as Commissioner Gordon. Brendan Fraser stars as Firefly. Jacob Scapillo has a mystery role. And officially, Michael Keaton is reprising his role as Bruce Wayne, also known as Batman, for the Batgirl movie. It is unclear if Ben Affleck will also be in Batgirl. We'll have to wait and see. Rumor and speculation say that he may be erased or dies in the Flash movie. Another side says that he's not and he's continuing going to be Batman for the DCU. There's only one way to find out, and this year is the year we do. Now, even though at this time Ben Affleck has no passion for him being Batman, I think if one day Zack Snyder calls up Ben Affleck and says, hey, we got greenlit for Justice League 2 and 3, I think Ben Affleck would actually do it. And it's great to see Christmas of 2021 end with Zack Snyder posting the Batflick Batmobile. What I actually almost thought it was Green Lantern because of all the green, and it could still be a hint at Green Lantern, I don't know. But it's kind of cool to see a shot of Ben Affleck's Batmobile against the Aurora, the Northern Lights. I mean, it's really beautiful. And I don't know what this means. I don't know why Zack Snyder is still posting DC content when he could have been posting something from Rebel Moon or Army of the Dead. Who knows? Some even suggested this was posted right after Discovery posted this. What happens while we're asleep? Known to many, the Northern Lights or Aurora are commonly visible in the North Pole. Wishing a very cozy Christmas Eve. Then Zack Snyder posted Christmas Batmobile. Put your tinfoil hat on if Zack Snyder is kind of hinting that Discovery is going to allow him to make part 2 and part 3 of Zack Snyder's Justice League. You tell me. I have no idea.
He'll be here, Alfred, I know it.
What makes you so sure?
Faith, Alfred. Faith.
But it does show 2022 is going to be an exciting year for DC fans, especially Batman fans. Because man, we're going to get 3 different Batmans from 3 different universes in the same year. It's going to be insane.